Alright, so now that you have the keyword research tool installed, you're seeing the search volume in your browser here, and you've started to build up a list of keywords. The next thing that you need to understand is which of these keywords can you realistically get to the front page of Google for. Now, initially your reaction might be, okay, I want to get to the front page of Google for a term like drones or whatever it is for your niche, because that gets the most amount of searches. I can see here 1.5 million. Wouldn't it be great if I can get to the first page of Google for that? However, that is not the type of term that you want to pick. Why? Because yes, it gets a massive amount of search volume, but that also means that it's going to be very competitive, that a lot of other websites are going to want to be on page one as well, because it gets such a huge amount of search volume. And also, those sites are probably going to be much more established than you. They've been around for years. They've tons of backlinks already. So you really have no chance of getting to the front page of Google. So what do you have a chance of getting to the front page of Google for? Well, to explain this properly, you firstly need to understand the different categories of keywords. And here they are listed out. There are head keywords, body keywords, and long tail keywords. Now these might seem like unusual names, but they actually make a lot of sense. You can see that we have a graph here, and the top part of the graph is the head of the graph. And that is really where one-word keywords like logistics or drones are. Yes, they get a massive amount of search frequency or search volume, but they're also very, very competitive because a lot of people are drawn in by the search volume. Now down here in the second part of the graph, or the body of the graph, you can see that this is made up of 2 to 3 word phrases, things like logistics management software. So yes, these are going to have less search frequency, but they're also going to be less competitive, which means you have a better chance of ranking page number 1. Now down here in the final part of the graph is the long tail. This makes up a lot of the total overall searches, and they are very descriptive search terms like logistics management software case studies, 4 or 5 word phrases. And I'm sure when you go into Google and you can't find something, you start to expand to a 2-3 word phrase and even get more specific with a 4 to 5 word phrase. Now, which of these type of keywords do you think you should try and target? Well, hopefully you're thinking already, okay, well, these long tail keywords don't have as much frequency, but they've also much less competition. So this is probably a good idea for me to really try and target. So let me give you another example to really bring this to life. Let's say that I was in the business of SEO. I had a course, I had a blog, I have services about SEO. This is just an example, but the same thing applies for any business. I might type in SEO and I go, great, it gets a huge amount of search volume. Let me try and get to page 1 for that. However, when I start to look down the search results here, I can see Moz.com, Search Engine Land, Wikipedia. I can see some SEO companies locally here as well. And I can say, oh my God, these guys have been around for years. They're really big established players in the market. How am I ever going to beat them? Let me start to look for a 2 or 3 word phrase. So I could put in something like SEO tutorial. Now notice here the search volume is 673, and this is going to drop considerably when I get the search volume for SEO tutorial. So I can see that this has 12,100 searches per month. It's going to be a lot less competitive, and I can even see that some of the websites have changed here, not so much the big players anymore, but it's going to be less competitive. Now if I wanted to go down a level, get really down to this long tail area, what I could do is come in SEO tutorial step by step, and Google's even giving me suggestions of more refined searches, and I can see that drops down to 390 searches a month. So yes, it is going to be less search volume, but also it's going to be much less competitive. So less search volume, it's a long tail keyword, but also much less competitive. And so what I recommend you really do is start to target these keywords in the long tail here. They have low search volume, But once you become a bigger site, you can start to move up this graph, start to target those 2 to 3 word phrases and even 1 word phrases. But what you want to do is really try and rank for a portfolio of keywords rather than one single term. So for example, you can see that here is the Life Hacker. This is kind of a well-known news site, tips and tricks for mostly technical stuff. So yes, they are ranking on their homepage for their brand name, Life Hacker, but you can also see that they've created keywords around 1 word keywords like this. I think it's kind of a technical thing, and also system and compressed memories. This is kind of a more body keyword, and then Raspberry Pi projects, another body keyword. And you can see that they have a portfolio of different terms that they are targeting and have created content around, as well as just their brand name. And that's how they pull a huge amount of traffic into their website overall. So the key takeaway for you in this lecture is that your keyword strategy should be to target these long tail keywords, and also to build up a portfolio of keywords rather than one term. So have a look at your list and start to focus in on these longer term phrases, and you can even download these and start to highlight these with this keyword strategy in mind.